Hello YouTube, my name is Fantasize, and once again, welcome back to the channel dedicated to educating you in all things Vendetta Online. So today in this video, I thought I would make a quick little tip guide on how to increase your home faction standing, and I mean by that UIT, Serco, and Atani space standings. Because not a lot of people, or at least not a lot of people, not a lot of new or players know how to go about it. Because if you want to increase your standing, typically you would have to do missions and stuff, right? Well, for your home station, if you can't exactly go into nation space, which it is very important that you have access to it, you can't do that, right? But there are a few methods of being able to, and that's what this video is going to be all about. So the first thing I want to go over is, well, how you lose it in the first place. So there's a few ways you can lose faction standing. If you kill a player inside of Serco space or monitored Serco space, Atani space, or UIT space, you'll take a little bit of a faction hit, but it's not usually too bad if it's only one. But if it's a reoccurring occurrence and you don't do anything to bring your standing back up, it'll dip pretty low. Instances like that. Or if you do in fact attack a player, every ship that belongs to UIT that you damage afterwards or kill, I believe, will tank your standing. So for instance, one of my characters actually got his UIT standing tanked pretty good because accidentally shot a UIT ship, got KOS, accidentally warped into UIT space, and I panicked a little bit, and I started blasting. Okay, I just started killing left and right. Strike Force comes in little fleets. I probably killed like 3 or 4 full fleets, just warping around, murdering in my den, because I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I don't want to die. I had a bunch of really valuable stuff on me at the time, but lost it. So big mistake. So don't be like Fanta, right? Or if you are like Fanta, let me tell you how to fix so you don't be like him anymore. Okay, so when that happens to you, right? There's a few methods, 2 main methods that I know about. You can either A, take the easy route and pay it off, right? Which I think is somewhere in the realm of, like 20 to 30 mil, which is a lot of credits for a newer player if it ever happens. Or you can do the harder method, which takes significantly more time, but it's 100% generally relatively free. I don't want to say 100%, because there's a little bit of caveat to it. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to warp into the sector, right? You want to go in there. You want to go. So for me, UIT space, right? I was KOS UIT -1,000. They hated my guts. I was KOS. Okay. What you're gonna want to do is, the first thing is you want to get a fast ship, which the requirements for that are pretty low. You want something that can go faster than 200 meters a second, and for the most part, you're kind of good. Like, that's it. A good recommendation would be like a Warthog Mark II, because it can go over 200 meters per second, and it has an infinite turbo as well, and it's also cheap and really easy to unlock if you haven't already. Same thing goes for the Atlas. I generally use the Atlas Type X because Type X is love, Type X is life. There's nothing it can't and cannot do, so that's what I used. But what you're going to do is you're going to want to warp. You want to go in there. You want to run through the border, because there's a lot of border turrets, right? So let's say we're using Lados H2 as an example, and you're waiting right outside the wormhole in like your little ship or whatever. Whenever you jump and you go into like a Zek, right, because that's where Lados H2 leads, you're immediately going to want to try to vector out, okay, as fast as possible. So you want to find wherever the fastest way out is, and you want to line yourself up with it, and you just want to press that turbo button and go. There's a probability that you'll probably get hit, maybe once, maybe twice, but it shouldn't kill you if you're fast enough, because there's a little bit of a timer that is given. I think it's like 12 seconds or so before the border turrets actually start to target you for whatever reason. I don't know, like jet lag or something, who knows. But what you're going to want to do is you just want to get out of there as fast as possible, and you want to head to an empty sector, right? Do be aware though, you don't want any strike force following you, okay? So be aware of that. Like, if any strike force are within 1,000 kilometers of you, they'll warp in right behind you, and you don't want that, right? So be sure to do that. so that way you're not followed. You're in an empty sector all by yourself. And once you're there, you're gonna want to start looking around. Okay, just be aware this does work for all factions, or not all the big three factions, right? So then you want to start looking around. Okay, you want to find a sector that has collectors, and only collectors, right? Because they're the easiest to kill. And that's all you're gonna do, because you get faction standing for killing bots, you know. And it takes a long time, you know. I'm talking like in order to get out of KOS to the point that you can be in the sector and they won't shoot at you, you have to be disliked, which I think is 599 and below. So, or actually it might be, I think it is 599 below, I'm pretty sure. It's either 599 or 499, one or the other. But either way, you have to kill a lot of bots, right? Between KOS and hated, I think you're getting somewhere in the realm of half a point. Once you get to hated to disliked, I think you get a full point, and then it just stays like that all the way till neutral. So you got to kill a lot of bots. But in order to make it go as fast as possible, you can use a similar method to the one that I had used whenever I made a video on how to farm neural nodules, right? And that is find where the bots, like kill a few bots, figure out where they're warping in from, and then just go over there, right? So then that way, right as they're warping in, you can kill them, and then they'll spawn right in front of you again. You kill them, spawn right in front of you again, kill them, and you just rinse and repeat as fast as possible instead of flying around little asteroids, going from one to the other to the other to the other. It takes too long, you know, it's really slow. Alternatively, if you have a friend that's willing to help you that has a capital ship and isn't KOS, they can do the same thing. They can have them, you know, you can post up on that little where the bots warp in from, hop in a Caparel if they have one available, and just start hitting them. You do that for a while, and your standing will get right up pretty quick. It's the same method that I'm using because, you know, like I said, 20 mils a lot. And I'm a gamer, so I don't want to, you know, do it the easy way. I want to struggle a little bit. So that's all for the video. I just wanted to be, you know, something quick, something easy, something that, you know, would bring you guys some benefit. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys get some sort of use, some sort of value, and I'll see you guys in the next video.